Good evening. How are you? Fine, good. So, how's the preparation going on? Good. So, Joshua lady. Good, bad, very good. It's just going on. Even we don't know where it is going. So, I hope all of you have started your preparation for prelims. So, last week we had completed a few topics. Which were the topics we had completed last week? We had completed the topics of national income accounting, and then RBI, banking, monetary policy we had completed. Today we are going to resume with inflation, and then fiscal policy, taxation and external sector. Okay, these are the topics we are going to cover, and we will be covering important current affairs topics of Egypt, Ethiopia and Thailand and Cambodia, and places in news regarding Iran and Syria. Okay, why? Because Iran, Syria, these are the places where USA is carrying out attacks. Last 15 days back, Syria was bombed by USA, and very soon, in probably 2 to 3 days, Iran also will be bombed by USA. Again, that is the news, because if you observe Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu has called Modi also. So it is not just a courtesy call, but it is just to send a message that we are carrying out an attack, and any Indian citizens in these areas better to take some precautionary actions. Those would be the messages conveyed. And entire Russian embassy has emptied its office in Iran. So this shows that chances of Israel and USA carrying out a joint attack on Iran is going to be very high. Okay, so let us start. So the first topic we are going to start today is inflation. So before we start inflation, let us just discuss, when you read about inflation, what are the topics that we are going to read about inflation? Okay, so basically two types of questions are asked. One is completely static, or what you can say factual, and one more is understanding based. So again, inflation, you should be knowing what is the definition of inflation, what are the types of inflation. What are the types of inflation? Skewflation, disinflation, those are the types. Fine, good. Then we will be reading about the causes of inflation. Again, supply side, demand side. I hope all of you know this, supply side, demand side inflation. Then what is the impact of inflation, and how do you tackle inflation? See, whenever you are reading, try to make a tree like this and read. If you know these basics now, you will get any question on inflation right. Sir, what are the factual parts that can be asked? Factual part that can be asked is CPI, WPI. So you should be knowing an entire 360 degrees about CPI and WPI. UPSC has already asked multiple times. I will show you with example today. CPI, CPI urban, CPI rural, CPI industrial workers, amele agriculture labor. Thanks. Okay, who releases this? What is the frequency of release of CPI, WPI? All this we will have an idea. Don't sit and by heart last 3 months back what was the CPI. So those facts are not necessary. Alright, and who releases is also a very important topic in the part of WPI and CPI. Artha aita? Understood? So these are the factual part that we are going to study, and you will again observe that how particular topics are repeated by UPSC. Same question has been copy pasted from the last 10 to 15 years. So we will be discussing all this today. Shall we start? So again, inflation types and measurement, CPI, WPI, demand pull, cost push, built-in, GDP deflator. So these are the basics. And recession, what is the impact? All of this we are going to study. All of you know Phillips curve. What is Phillips curve? Inflation versus employment. Okay. So there are multiple curves. Please know all the curves that are there in UPSC economics. Laffer curve, Kuznets curve, and then Phillips curve, Lorentz curve. Solve this, write down in a single sheet and keep it aside. Whenever you get bored, revise it. Because these are the curves, UPSC chances are they are going to interchange and ask. Yes. So let us start with, again I have gone back from 1995 onwards, I have picked up questions. And again, because economic concepts can be repeated and nothing wrong in knowing these questions also. Imagine a same question comes in UPSC, that is the easiest 2 marks you will ever get. And we are not going to lose anything by doing this also. Okay. So let us start. Again, so this question is on base effect. Okay. So a rapid increase in the rate of inflation is sometimes attributed to the base effect. What do you understand by base effect? Just read the options. Take your time, don't rush. I will ask you, then you can raise your hands. Visible? It is the impact of drastic deficiency in supply due to failure of crops. Again, it is a manufactured statement. Always remember, identify which are manufactured statements. Drastic anta banta, obviously, or very high chances it is going to be wrong. Let us go to the next option. It is the impact of the surge in demand due to rapid economic growth. Again, rapid, are you observing? He will make sure that these options are eliminated by themselves. Third option, it is the impact of the price levels of the previous year on the calculation of inflation rate. Yes, yes, this is the answer. So again, very simple, very straightforward question, option C. Again, the concept he is trying to see is base effect. Okay, he wants to test you. Do you know what is the meaning of base effect? All right, let us go to the next question. Again, a very nice question, can be asked because UPSC has gone to asking these formula based questions and numerical based questions. This can be a very nice question. Okay, let us wait for others also. Again, are you observing this is a kind of a new type of question compared to the last 10 years? Okay, so now how many of you will not mark this? Sir, it's a difficult question or I am confused. It's okay, see, there is nothing wrong. Today, as of today, sir, I see this question, I feel that it is a very risky question, I don't want to answer. How many of you think so? Okay, how many of you think answer is A? All items cost 3.3 times more than what they did in 1960. So car was 1 lakh, now it is 3.3 times today, all items. Okay. Second, the price of certain selected items have gone up 3.3 times. Anybody? Next, the weighted mean of price of certain items has increased by 3.3 times. The answer is C. That is also the definition. Arthak, are you understanding? So expect that if paper has to be difficult, difficult questions have to come on inflation. These are the topics that they are going to pick because these are the topics that have not been asked in the last 10 years by UPSC. Okay, base effect, weight, I mean what happens if it is increasing by 330, all these questions. And is it an application based question? Last year did you observe? 2 questions, calculate fiscal deficit, effective revenue deficit. It is more of a problem kind of a question that is coming. So this is also a similar type of question asked by UPSC in our civil service exam. See again, the person who is going to set your question also, he will not have too much idea. He will observe the PYQs and he will try to frame a same question or a similar question out of our PYQs. And remember, it is not a specialist exam, but it is a generalist exam. Generalist exam andre what average person should be knowing about Indian economics. UPSC has asked this question 3 times, by the way. Same question. Which of the following is likely to be most inflationary in its effect? As soon as you see most inflationary, write down what do you understand by most inflationary. What do you understand by most inflationary? Too much money in the market. Correct? Too much money in the market. Now you read 4 options. Repayment of public debt. Let us read all 4 options. Borrowing from the public to finance a budget deficit. So there is no relation that but inflationary effect. Third one, borrowing from banks to finance a budget deficit. See the last option. So creating new money to finance a budget deficit. Creating new money andre more money is coming into the market. More money coming into the market is itself inflationary. Do you agree? Yes. Very straightforward, has been asked by UPSC 3 times till today. (2013) sorry, yeah, 2021. Is there any change? Options also. Sometimes UPSC gets lazy. See why? Because if you ask any economy faculty, give me 10 questions for Indian economics, give me 2 questions on inflation. If he wants to test your knowledge, these are the questions that he has to ask. These are the standard set of questions that he has to ask at any cost. Artha aita? Understood? Answer is creation of new money to finance a budget deficit. Again, another simple understanding based question. I'll ask you, then you raise hands. Nobody should answer now. A rise in general level of prices may be caused by. If you want, you write down. While solving, always make it a habit, even in the question paper in UPSC. Write down whatever you know about this concept. When you write down, you will get more clarity and confidence that you are doing it right. Because by the time you read the third option, first option you would have forgotten. So write whatever you know right next to the question. A rise in general level of prices. What do you mean by rise in general level of prices? Inflation. Artha aita? Sometimes he will not give you the definition, he will ask you he will give you the explanation. Is caused by increase in money supply. Correct? So one should be in our answer. Now I will eliminate option C. So now I have 3 options left. Second, a decrease in aggregate level of output. A decrease in aggregate level of output. Correct? So 2 also should be there. So I'm stuck between B and D now. Let us see the last option. An increase in effective demand. Too much money chasing too few goods. If you know the definition, don't get confused. Sir, how can 2 increase be there in our answer? Some students overthink. Sir, 2 increase ide sir. How can it be possible? Don't think like that. An increase in effective demand also will lead to inflation. So what is our answer here? Option D, 1, 2 and 3 only. Because I see lot of students, sir, usually all the above will not be the answer, sir. That is why I got confused and I marked this. Take all this bias out of your head. Go with a clean slate. Option can be none of the above also. Option can be 1 only also. Option can be 1, 2 and 3 also. Okay. Never go with a bias and a prejudice that these options cannot be the answer. Because this is where UPSC is going to play with your mind and head. Anyways, coaching institutions would have already played. Solving your test series. So you will take the same mentality what you have done in your test series into the exam. So go with a clean slate whenever you go into the exam hall. And my objective here is to show you that Indian economy is a very simple topic if you prepare properly. If you know the basics properly, you can easily get it right. There is a lot of fear. sir, Indian economy is very difficult for me. It is not the case. Even an average person who has basic understanding can easily score marks in economy. Visible? This is a completely factual question. Which of the following brings out consumer price index number for industrial workers? Reserve Bank, Department of Economic Affairs, DOPT and Labour Bureau. Answer is Labour Bureau. Again, if you go back and observe, Labour Bureau is another favorite area of UPSC. He has already asked you 3 questions on Labour Bureau. 2 years back also there was a question about any disputes between the industrial workers, who settles it, and there was some question. So please have a 360-degree idea about Labour Bureau for the coming year. Always, and again, it doesn't mean all 4 options I'll do research, not needed. Labour Bureau, repeatedly it has been asked, so please keep an eye on our Labour Bureau. If question comes, question has to come from this topic of Labour Bureau. Alright, who publishes CPI Agriculture Labour? I don't know, I am asking. Ministry of Labour, guarantee na, WPI? Industries and Commerce, Office of Economic Advisor, guarantee na? Very good. Others? Sir, we have just started. Again, make a small table, economy factual parts, keep a separate table for that and write it down. These are the things you have to revise 10 times before going to the exam hall. What is the base year? Who releases it? What is the frequency of it being released? All this you will get in the market. You put a big table, CPI, WPI, CPI urban, CPI rural, industrial workers, agriculture labor. What is the base year? Who releases it? What is the frequency of it being released? Alright? Visible? I'll ask, only then you raise your hands. With reference to inflation, which of the following statement is correct? First, controlling the inflation in India is the responsibility of Government of India only. Because if only was not there, you could prove it right. Correct? Supply side inflation can be controlled by Government of India. So that is why to negate that he has given only. So option 1 is incorrect. The Reserve Bank of India has no role in controlling inflation. Remember, I have told you, whenever you see no, he has purposely negated the statement. B is also incorrect. Decreased money circulation helps in controlling inflation. Again, go back. What did I tell you? Too much money chasing too few goods. So, if you dump more money in the market, inflation agutta? Will it lead to more inflation or control inflation? More inflation. So, I have to suck money out of the market to control inflation. For that, decreased money circulation helps in controlling the inflation. Correct? So, answer C. And increased money circulation helps in controlling inflation is exactly, it's a incorrect statement. Understanding, these are the questions that have been asked. I have not manufactured these questions. UPSC will go to basic level and they will ask the basics. Instead of that, again, if he wants to change this, increase the repo rate anta kodtare. Increase the repo rate, correct? This statement na ishte twist madakagadu. Okay, you can twist the statement only this much. Decrease the repo rate will be wrong. Decreasing repo rate will lead to more inflation. Decrease in repo rate will lead to more inflation. Yes, too much money. Okay. Here is testing the difference between CPI and WPI. Read. I'll ask you, raise your hands. Okay. The weightage of food in consumer price index is higher than that in wholesale price index. True or false? True. Next, the WPI does not capture the changes in the prices of services which CPI does. True. In case you don't know also, let us wait. In case you don't know, let us wait. Read the third option. Reserve Bank of India has now adopted WPI as its key measure of inflation and to decide on changing the key policy rate. It is CPI that is the main, what is followed by our, so eliminate 3. So 2 is 100% correct. In case you did not know 2 also, if you read the third option, you could get whether the second option was right or wrong. That is why I specify that all of you please read all the options. Only then you can easily get it. Artha agtidya? Again, inflation, a very simple, straightforward topic. Read. Which among the following steps is most likely to be taken at the time of an economic recession? What is recession? Negative growth, almost. How many of you think option A? Option B? Option C? Option D? So this is like our Kaun Banega Crorepati or public poll also. Public are also not sure. Huh? Guarantee na? Read. Increase in expenditure on public projects. Before that, let us see. Cut in tax rates accompanied by increase in interest rate. Correct or wrong? Wrong. Okay. Next, increase in expenditure on public projects. Government will try to spend too much on the economy so that in that way at least it can revive growth. It will lead to employment generation. It will lead to what? Infrastructure development. In this way, government can try to bring back growth. Possibility of this being correct is right. Next, increase in tax rate accompanied by reduction in interest rate. No. And reduction of expenditure on public projects. Inna down agataste. Artha agta idya? So our answer is B, increase in expenditure on public projects. Again, they are trying to broadly check your understanding of these topics. Madaboda? Or is it so difficult? See, out of 15 economic questions, 3 to 4 questions will be difficult. I want at least 10 to 11 questions to be right. And that is easily doable. With reference to Indian economy, demand pull inflation can be caused by, write down there, try to mark into if you think it is the wrong option. Make it a habit to write. Expansionary policy. What is expansionary policy? Reducing repo rate. So will it lead to demand pull inflation? Yes. Yes. Second, fiscal stimulus. What is fiscal stimulus? Government pumping money, encouraging, okay. Third, inflation indexing wages. Definition but answer really. If you are confused, let us come to the fourth option. Higher purchasing power. Yes, obviously demand pull inflation, demand should increase, and rising interest rate. Ulta agate rising interest rate. So let us eliminate 5. We have our answer. Are you understanding? One option is enough for us to get the answer right. So if you know that one option, you are going to easily get the answer. Okay. So aವಾಗ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗಲೇ ಕಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗೋದು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. Whenever he has 1 only, 2 only, 3 only, 4 only, automatically imagine cut off is going to drop. You saw 2-3 years back, cut off was 76. 22, 23. Okay. That is when our cut off is going to drop. At those times, only mark if you are 100% sure. If you are not 100% sure, better to avoid. If you are not 100% sure. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? If the pattern of question changes, if the difficulty increases, doesn't mean you have to compulsorily go for it. Automatically cut off is going to drop. Get your basics correct, you are going to easily clear the prelims. Again, repeated question. Which one of the following is responsible for maintaining price stability by controlling inflation? Yaru? RBI. Repeat idya. This is the third question we are seeing where they are asking who is responsible for managing inflation. Only 1 year is played the other way around. Deflation. Write down if you want so that you will get clarity to get the answer. Goes example ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಮಾತಾಡಿ. How many of you think it is option A? Option B? Option C? Option C. D is also easy question. Yes, it is a persistent fall. What do you mean by persistent? Good. ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ. ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂಥರ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. ಗುಡ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಸಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಾನ್. ಸೊ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ it is a fall in the rate of inflation over a period of time. How do you define that? Disinflation. Reflation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ತರಿಸೋದು. ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಡಿಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮೇಲ್ ತರಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಫ್ಲೇಷನ್. Got it? So these small words, small differences if you have deflation, disinflation, inflation, reflation. Basics if you know. Give examples for yourself so that you can have an idea. What is happening in Iran today? Hyper, whatever you want to name, rapid fall in the prices. That is what is happening in Iran. Why? Sanctions being imposed by USA. Read, take your time. with reference to index inflation bonds. Which of the following is correct? Government can reduce the coupon rates on its borrowings by way of index inflation bonds. Yes, first you should know what is coupon rates. What is coupon rate? A bond ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕೊಡೋ ವಾಪಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ we say coupon. Okay, rate. It's okay if you don't know, because inflation index bonds provide protection to the investors from uncertainty regarding inflation. That is why there is IIBs. Third option is our hint. The interest received as well as capital gains on IIBs are not taxable. Both are taxable. Taxable. And also please observe another keyword that write down in your keyword list. Whenever you see as well as, be very, very careful. Whenever you see as well as, chances are that option is wrong. I don't want to give 100%, but at least I'll tell you 90% as well as use ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ the question is going to be wrong. Observe, I am just giving you the hint. No anta helide, you are observing that how many, whenever no comes, the option is 99% wrong, because you will bring that 1% and say, sir, it is not correct. Artha aita? See, again I am telling you, UPSC Prelims can be solved with knowledge and these minor skills that we have acquired over a period of time. Any doubts? Artha aita inflation? Did you see? I think we discussed more than 15 questions. What are the basic demand of UPSC when it comes to inflation? First definition, causes, types of inflation, how to tackle inflation, and impact, and facts. Facts andre eno? CPI, WPI, who releases this? So these are the only things that he is going to expect from you from inflation. Doable? Again, you should be very happy if you see a question on inflation. Easiest the topic in our Indian economy. Artha aita? So let us go to the next topic, that is our fiscal policy. What is fiscal policy? Policies that are taken by Government of India, taxation, budgeting, subsidies, all this we are going to discuss. Government revenue, deficits, kelidira deficits, another favorite area of UPSC, primary deficit, amele fiscal deficit, revenue deficit, effective revenue deficit. These are the topics that are regularly asked. And also we are going to see, have you heard of FRBM Act? Another favorite area of UPSC is already asked 3 questions on FRBM in the last 7 years. A 3 questions kelidine andre, a 4th question is round the corner. If he doesn't like the topic, he will never come near the topic also. Artha agtidya? Let us start. Also tax revenue, non-tax revenue. I hope you know what is tax revenue, non-tax revenue, capital receipts, revenue receipts. Kelidira? So these are the favorite topics here. Earlier there was a very famous question, which of the following is non-planned expenditure of the government? 2 to 3 times he had asked. But now plan and non-plan expenditure distinction has been merged in the post 2017 budget. I'll show you examples also. Plan and non-plan expenditure andre enu anta. Tax, you observe that questions have been dumped on taxation. Last year also a question there was there on taxation. Any idea? I have not purposefully included 2025 because 2025 separately will discuss the entire paper. A trending barta ide heng solve madbeku anta. Last year what was the question on income tax asked by UPSC in prelims? Adu tax allive. Agriculture income is taxable or not? That was a question that was asked, because there was a proposal that why don't we tax agricultural income. So that is the reason UPSC picked up a topic and asked the basics about it. Still you have 5 months, keep observing the newspaper. These are the minor topics that UPSC will expect us to know. So again, start. Corporation tax, is it direct tax or indirect tax? Direct tax, very good. Who levies and who appropriate andre ಏನು? Collect ಮಾಡಿ divide ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳೋದು. Okay, appropriated between. Read all the options. How many of you will not mark? Sir, I will play safe. Everybody will mark? Akash. Mark ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಬೇಡವಾ ಬೇಡ ಸರ್ UPSC ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬಿಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. How many of you think it is option A, option B, option C, option D? Answer is option D. Irli paraila. I want you to observe the pattern. We are still 5 months away from the exam. Whenever you see any tax, who is levying the tax, who is collecting this, and who are part of the tax. Okay, and also I want you to know which tax forms the highest source of revenue for the government also. That will come in our economic survey and budget. The pattern, the trend with respect to tax collection by the government, that is a very important topic. You will see the number of questions that have been asked. Income tax. I think so. Okay. ಅದು ಮೇಜರ್ಲಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅವರೇ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅವರೇ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ A, B, C, D, not mark, majority. Answer is option A. Option? It's okay, it's completely fine. I want you to observe the type of question. What is the type of question you are observing? Who imposes, who collects, how is it distributed? Madboda idu? See, at least if you have a evidence based knowledge that okay, these are the type or these are the ways I can prepare for the exam, you can do this. Don't answer, I will ask. Easiest question. Which of the following are indirect taxes? Corporation tax, direct. Customs, indirect. Wealth, direct. And excise duty, indirect. So answer is B, 2 and 4, indirect taxes. Read properly. Option A, anybody? Option B? Option C? Option D? What is the correct answer? A na, D na? B na? Stamp duties, state government. So answer should be A. But at that point of time earlier when it was asked, Stamp duties also were levied and collected by central government. Stamp duties. What is stamp duty? Good question. Stamp duty and even registration ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾಂಪ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಸ್ಟಾಂಪ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದು ತರ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ಕರೀಂ ಲಾಲಾ ತೆಲ್ಗಿ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಫೇಮಸ್ ಇದ್ರು. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾಪಾ ಕಾಗದ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ. Again, earlier it was levied by state center. Ivaga it is state. I'll tell you, wait. Avaga answer D ittu. Actually, stamp duties are levied by union anta some sources alli helutte. But actually state governments are also levying it. It's income for state government. %2 yaru? Karnataka government, yes. It keeps varying from state to state. But anyways, go back and read about this. Artha aita? Stamp duty enaru bandre, don't be surprised why is it coming. It is a regular trend by UP. Are you observing 4 questions now already? Yaar levy ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು appropriate ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು distribute ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? Can you do this? Take one more question. Service tax. Again, this is a question that was asked when service tax was there. Directa, indirecta? GST, goods and service. Indirecta? Levied by central government. Which of the following are direct taxes? D. Anybody D? D for fringe benefit. ಏನು fringe benefit tax ಅಂದ್ರೆ? What is side income? Side income ಒಂದು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಒಂದು ಪಾನಿಪುರಿ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಹಾಕದ? Fringe benefits andre, for example, as an employee, this is according to my knowledge, if an employee is getting some other benefits from the company, those are also taxable. That is why it is known as fringe benefit tax. Okay, it is all the above. Okay, Sixth question, 5th or 6th question on the same topic. Taxes on transaction in stock exchange and future market. Levied by union, collected by union only, not states. Artha aita, what is the pattern you observed in the last 6 questions? They will pick up a tax, they will say who has the power to impose the tax and who collects it and how is it appropriated. Understood? So this is how you are going to prepare. Next, again a very simple and a straightforward question, because GST was implemented by the government at that point of time. Directly they picked up GST and asked the basics. Look at the happiness, sir. All other questions you were silent. Now suddenly, sir, I am a tiger. Answer is one only. Yes, mates. Again, it will drastically reduce the current account deficit. What is current account deficit, by the way? Current account deficit. Import export difference, usually it is said current account deficit. Okay. It will drastically reduce CAD and will enable to increase the foreign exchange reserves. Not necessarily. Next, it will enormously increase the growth and size of economy of India and will enable it to overtake China in the near future. And again, remember I told you, observe and. Whenever he adds and he completes a statement, chances are he wants to make it a wrong option. Please observe the keywords. I don't care about answers today. I want you to observe all this trend. And if you build this skill, no one can stop you from clearing Prelims. Don't apply this in test series. Statutory warning. Can. But adu tumba indirectly. Okay. Ee GST in advantage majorly. It is basically multiple, it will ease the process. Cascading effect hogutte. And also evasion will reduce. At one point of time somebody was escaping. Today nobody can escape from the tax authorities. That is the main purpose. Current account deficit andre connection will connection madbeku. You cannot prove it wrong also. Again, just brought to show you that if you observe any committees, please observe what is the main objective of that committee. I think most of you will not know this because it is a very old committee, 20 years back. Vijay Kelkar committee was formed, and the committee was for exemption from tax on dividend and capital gains from listed equity. But today it will be in the news because there is a lot of demand, especially from people in the financial market or stock market, to eliminate security transaction tax and LTCG antano barutte. Long term capital gains tax. There is a demand from the industry that please reduce the security transaction tax and also this LTGCG. So please please read about this because budget is very close by. Yavag budget? February 1st. So this entire month there will be a demand for this because for removal of this completely. Artha agtidya? Next, some questions on government financial planning, budget and expenditure. Non-plan expenditure. C na D na? Guarantee na? One more question, let us see. All the above. All the above. Anyways, this concept is eliminated now because there is no plan and non-plan expenditure. But again, I am just trying to give you some evidence how UPSC will use our 3 R's: repeat, reuse, recycle. That will definitely happen. Option is C. These are some of the non-plan expenditures: interest payment on government debt, salaries and pensions of government employees, grants to state governments, defense expenditure, subsidies on food fertilizer, maintenance expenditure, grants to foreign governments and other general government. All this is known as or was known as non-plan expenditure. Okay. See, expenditure can be both ways. Maintenance ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ expenditure? Procurement ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, maintenance ಆಗಿರಬಹುದಲ್ಲ. So defense was earlier considered to be non-plan expenditure only. Capital budget, revenue budget. What is capital budget? Again, very favorite area of UPSC, this one. This will test your basic knowledge. Good. The capital budget andre ಏನು? Asset creation, yes, good. There has to be some asset creation or reduction of liabilities also. Okay. What about interest? Capital or revenue? Revenue. Loans? Loans are capital. Something you have to give back. Okay. So expenditure on acquisition of assets like roads, buildings, yes, it is a capital budget. Loans received from foreign government, yes, and also loans and advances granted to states, all of them are a part of capital budget. Again, you have to blindly by heart, capital 5-6 ide, revenue 5-6 ide, blindly by heart, you are going to definitely expect a question on this. These are hot topics of UPSC. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Yes, I cannot teach more because I am not the economy faculty. Basic knowledge ಸಾಕಿದಕ್ಕೆ, technical knowledge actually is not at all needed for our economic questions. I had blindly just remembered loans given, obviously it is capital. Grants are revenue. Interest is also revenue. Don't ask me why. I remember like this, I will get the answer correct. Sometimes in UPSC you don't have to find logic. Sir, sun rises from the east. Why? Rotation or revolution? Rotation, that's all. I will not go what is rotation, which axis, why. If you go too much, you are going to be in trouble. See, again, my purpose, I am not come here to become a geographer. Okay, I don't want to do anything related to geography. I want to clear UPSC exam. For that, this is my basic UPSC knowledge I should be knowing. Keep that simple. Okay, today also, I had just by hearted one line. Inflation benefits debtors. From this I will derive everything. Andre, whoever has taken a loan, for him inflation benefits. Correct? From this I will, creditors obviously inflation is going to hurt. Yes or no? Bondholders? ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ? Yes, if I am a bondholder, I have to repay the bond. Inflation is going to hurt me or benefit me? Hurt me. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. If you know these concepts, you can easily get the question right. Sometimes it's okay not to find logic. I have to get the answer right. That should be our agenda here. Okay? Again, slightly questions get challenging. External liabilities reported in the union budget are based on historical exchange rates. What do you mean external liability? External liability andre some money that I have to give back. Will I mention in today's price or that day's price? I would have borrowed 10 lakhs 15 years back. Today it will look like 12 lakhs. Will I mention 12 lakhs or that price? Today's price mention ಮಾಡ್ತೀನ ಹಳೆ price mention ಮಾಡ್ತೀನ? You will mention today's price. You have to tell today how much I should give you back. So option 1 is wrong. As soon as you are eliminating option 1, 2, 3, 4 are automatically the answer. Let us see the other options. The continued high borrowing has kept real interest rates high in the economy. Yes. Odi, very confusing topic now. The continued high borrowing has kept interest rates high in the economy. Observe madi. Continued borrowing andre too much money in the market. When there is too much money in the market, will you increase the interest rate or decrease? Increase. So that is logically correct. But when you read for the first time, did you find it difficult? When you read that option for the first time, you find it difficult. But if you read it the second and the third time, it became very easy. So whenever you see such difficult questions, never lose hope. Read it 2 to 3 times, he will give you the hint. And remember, it's not an Indian Economic Service exam that you are walking into. And if it is very difficult for you, it is going to be difficult for others also. The upward trend in the ratio of fiscal deficit to GDP a recent year has an adverse effect on private investment. Correct answer, correct ide. I am trying to understand the concept here. What do you mean by upward trend in the ratio of fiscal deficit of GDP? Fiscal deficit andre no. Expenditure, borrowing is high. At that time, it will lead to something known as crowding out effect. Yes or no? ಅವಾಗ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತಾ? ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅವಾಗ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸಿ ಮನಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ ಕಷ್ಟನಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ ಆಡಬಹುದು. ಅದೇ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ಇಟ್ ರಿವಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್. Read the questions. Third one, it's okay. Non-planned revenue expenditure is not there now. Another factual question. How many of you honestly don't know? It's okay to not know. Even I did not know. Ellargu gotta? I will ask. Which of the following department is responsible for presentation and preparation of union budget? Department of Economic Affairs. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Be very very careful. ಇದೇ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It's okay, make how many mistakes ever you are making now, but please make sure that you don't repeat the same here. I know whenever you pick up a test series, questions will be Latin, French, etc. That is when you solve and you get less marks and automatically you get demotivated. So that is why if you get a question wrong in your test series, try to learn. If you are not able to learn, just leave the topic aside. How much you are scoring in your test series will not determine anything, but your previous year questions are very important guide to your future. Purposely, I have brought 25 years of papers so that you will get an idea. Read. It's okay if you know if you know the answer also, read all 4 options. Right. Don't answer. Again, common sense idru answer barutide. You don't need knowledge. Answer is, say, Department of Finance. Idu gottilla andre ಹೊರಟುಬಿಡಿ. See, try to eliminate Reserve Bank of India. What is the function of Reserve Bank of India? Monetary policy. So it has nothing to do with this economic survey. Second, Planning Commission of India. Today it is dead. Ad Niti Aayog bandru tappe. Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Industries. What will Ministry of Industries do with it? Okay. Again, some questions on deficits. Are you observing the trends here? See, again, if 100 questions have been asked in UPSC on these topics, I have brought at least 80 questions. That is a percentage of questions I am covering, so that you will get a clarity. I am not picking some cherry picking some easy topics and bringing. 80% of the questions I am bringing. Okay, 80% andre ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು? Yes, these are the repeated trends, repeated themes of UPSC that are regularly asked. All right. whenever you see assertion reasoning, what are you going to do first? Because amel question odi. Make it a habit. Okay? Take your time. But problem is in UPSC, if you take more time, no, you will get confused. ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Answer is A. If you know the concept of fiscal deficit, budgetary deficit, it is a very easy question. Remember? So from now on, I hope that you know that assertion reasoning questions will become very simple if you just write the word because. Answer is A. Match the following. Read, take your time. Excess of total expenditure over total receipts. One is telling B, one is telling C, one is telling D. Answer is A. ಈ ಲೆಸ್ ಬಾರೋಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು ಅದು ಫಿಸ್ಕಲ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ ಅಂತ. This is budget. Excess of, wait, I'll tell you. Excess of total expenditure versus total minus over total receipts. Total receipts minus total expenditure. Budget. Anyways, please go back, know the definitions. And now it is not enough to identify like this. You should be able to write the entire formula. I hope you know why. Why? Last year they are giving you numbers and they are asking you to calculate. Please by heart the definition. Answer is A. No doubt about that. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ಸ್. ಆರ್ ಯು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ವೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಯುವರ್ ವೀಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್? ಈ ವೀಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Very easy question. Visible? Balcony. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ನಾನು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. Use the deficit. Easy na? See, again, there has been a persistent deficit budget year after year. Andre, I mean loss. If you don't understand anything, put yourself in position. Loss. Nim baras inta jasti kharchu ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. So to reduce that, what should I do? Reduce the revenue expenditure. I should reduce eating outside. Yes. Introduce new welfare schemes. Gone. More money is gone. Practically easy. Rationalizing subsidies. And you have to prioritize your spending rather than spending everywhere. And reducing import duty. Ulta agate, reducing import duty. Yes or no? Increase import duty means you are going to buy lesser. Easy question. Easy sir anta. But problem is in the exam, revenue expenditure, capital expenditure, all looks ulta. Why? Only because you would not have clarity over the particular terms. So these particular terms, whatever we are seeing now, if you have clarity over them, next year also the same terms has to be asked. Last 2 years in the economic questions are getting kind of irritating, but next year chances of easy questions coming from economics are very high. Every year you will pick one topic and put easy questions. Last year modern history was easy, very easy. Do you agree? Now chance of economy also to become very easy. Very easy andre concepts gotirbeku. Try to apply some common sense. And last 10 years in the 10 years ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು event ಆಗಿತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, any important event had happened in the last 10 years? Tax revenue as a percentage of GDP has steadily increased in the last decade. Andre 3.1%, 3.2%, 3.4, 3.5, 3.64 ಹಂಗೆ increase ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? Steadily. He is not asking number wise, quantum wise, percentage of GDP. So there has been a change. One is wrong. Again, last 10 years, note, other 1 or 2 event year will be a very bad year. COVID year, 2007 financial crisis year. Come to the next option. Fiscal deficit as a percentage of GDP has steadily increased in the last decade. Fiscal deficit andre sala. Steadily increase again, 3, 3.1, 3.2. No. So either it will increase or sometimes it is also decreasing. Trend observe ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. But again, last class I had discussed. They are asked number wise. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು? Steadily increase ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದೆಯಾ? What was the question? At market price. When they are asked at market price, yes. But here it is not the case. Sorry. Right. If you have any doubt, write down and get clarity. Barkoliyali. What happens if subsidy increases, subsidy decreases? How many of you think option A? Option B, option C, option D. Chanta is confused. 25% A, 25% B. First, what is current account deficit? Exports minus imports. So currently, I want to reduce my deficit. Means I should export more and import less. Correct? E logical bunny first. I should export more and import less. What will happen if I devalue? Exports will become attractive. Devaluation madre exports attractive agutta? Will I get more money? Is it good? Yes. One has to be there. Reduction in export subsidy. Government was supporting me, export chana madon. Suddenly they have reduced their support. Will I export more or less? Less. Option 2 is wrong, 100% wrong. Adopting suitable policies which attract greater FDI and more funds from FIIs. Yes. Answer is 1 and 3 only. Artha ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Good. $1 equals 80 rupees. Example gappa. Waiting to make some errors. Devaluation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ರೂಪಿ? 90 rupees. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಪೆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಫಾರಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಈ ಪೆನ್ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು $5. ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಡಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ 400 rupees. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ 450 rupees. ಯಾವ್ದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ನನಗೆ? 400 450 450. ದುಡ್ಡು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹಿಂಗ್ ಡಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನನಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ಈವನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ, ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಓದಿರೋದು, ನನಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಚೈನಾ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್. ಚೈನಾ ದೇ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಡಿಪ್ರಿಶಿಯೇಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ, ದೇ ಡಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ದ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? 100% ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನಾನು ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, rather than third one is correct, I will say why second one is wrong. Then we'll come to third one. Okay. Adopting suitable policies which attract greater FDIs and more funds from FIIs. Greater FDI and you know, foreign direct investment. What are the benefits of foreign direct investment? More investment. More investment comes more technology, more production, more exports. Fine. Abba, survive ade. Idea bantala? ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದಿಷ್ಟೇ. ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಐ ತಲೆಗೆ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಡಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಬರೀರಿ, ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ಡಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್, ಇದು ಬರೀರಿ, ಆವಾಗ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೆವಲಪ್. ಇದ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು ನೋ, ನೋ ಬಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸಿ. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಸ್. ಈ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ವೈ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಆಲ್ 6 attempts. All 6 attempts 120, 130, 140, this was our scores. Our question paper easy itto, but at the same time these were the things we were doing also. No rocket science. Any ordinary person can clear prelims provided nim basic strong agi nan exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. How you are going to implement in the exam, if you do this automatically you will clear. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಬಟ್ ಡಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it becomes very difficult for us. Devaluation ಇಷ್ಟೇ. So devaluation, is it good for imports? Obviously no. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ನಾನು imports ಗೆ. Okay. FRBM. Let us see how many. Again, I have not brought questions about Finance Commission because Polity we had discussed. Finance Commission 13th, 14th, 15th Finance Commission was asked by UPSC. So a Finance Commission, it will become a repeat, so I did not bring this. Let us see FRBM. What is the full form? Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management. Here. Welcome. My favorite student was missing. Illi nodi aaytu. Please make sure 360-degree notes of FRBM Act is ready with you, and also Encasing Act. Encasing committee recommendation. That's very, very important from prelims perspective. Okay. Which one of the following statement is correct with respect to FRBM Act? It is related to fiscal deficit only, revenue deficit only, both fiscal deficit and revenue deficit, neither fiscal nor revenue deficit. Again, this full toss ali full toss. This is free hit. No ball bandira free hit. Okay. ಏನು ಆಪ್ಷನ್? Yeah. All four options everybody told. Read, take your time. Let us come to option 3 first. As per the Constitution of India, it is mandatory for the state to take central government consent for raising loans if the former owes any outstanding liabilities to the latter. A latter former in confuse abadi. If state government has taken any loan from the central government, if it is not completely repaid, should the state government take the permission of central government before borrowing? 100% correct. And I think that is a news that is present even today. Yes, Kerala state, observe madidira. And also masala bonds becomes a very important topic from exam perspective. Why masala bonds is in the news? Kerala government, KIAB, they had borrowed, central government, I think ED raid ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರಾ? Not yet. Okay, 3 is correct. 3 is correct. Then the FRBM review committee recommended debt to GDP ratio of 60% for general government, comprising 40% for center and 20% of state government. 100% correct. Straightforward, easy. If you had read this topic, as the central government has domestic liability of 21% of GDP as compared to 49% GDP of the state governments. No. Ulta ide. What is the answer? 1 in 3. Okay, it's okay. Don't be sad that you don't know. You can go back and revise this topic. Again, please remember which topics are important. FRBM Act and encasing. Ishtu ಮಾಡಬಹುದಲ್ಲ? So again, you are analyzing this with 5 months of time or 130 days still left. So if you utilize this 130 months, 130 days, more than enough. Again, last question related to FRBM. ಅದು ಪಾಲಿಟಿಲಿ it is defined in the constitution ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. The term is defined. Good observation. But ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಯಾವುದು? ಅದಿತ್ತು. ಅದೇನಿತ್ತು? RBI, I think central government, if they want to borrow, it is there in the constitution ಅಂತ. It was there in the RBI Act. Okay? ಇಲ್ಲಿ again, if you know that this was a concept that was in the news, it is compulsory. Which article? 290 something. Borrowing al barutte center state relations ಅಲ್ಲಿ 292. Okay, so easy correct mention ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Polity ಲೂ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, economy ಲೂ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. And ಅದೆರಡು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ current affairs. Okay, but good observation. And it is an example that Constitution of India ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ 100% wrong ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. 99, that is why I tell 95%. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವೇ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ. Good, I am happy that you are thinking on that lines. Next, last question on FRBM Act. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಡಿ. FRBM Act ಮಾಡೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ? ಮಾಡಿದಾರಲ್ಲ? ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿ, FRBM Act. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ 3 ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ 2 other statements are compulsory. That is given by FRBM Act. Okay, please read about this. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So I think with this we conclude the topic of, okay, 2 more topics are there. FRBM Act. Idu repeated question, fiscal stimulus. First, what is fiscal stimulus, sir? Fiscal stimulus andre money, government will inject money into the market. Okay. So cutting the tax rates, is it good for us? Cutting the tax rate means more spending, people will spend more. Second, increasing the government spending, that is only fiscal stimulus. Abolishing the subsidies. Okay. Answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Artha agtidya? But fiscal stimulus gottilla andre gone. So please learn these topics. These are the topics that are coming. Again, another top question on fiscal stimulus. Read all 4 options. Take your time. First option. Odi, time thodi. Guarantee na, doctor? Correct agodi matte. Read properly. Try to eliminate, and which is the closest option. Fiscal stimulus andre nanu ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Again, economy is dead. Government wants to revive that economy, so government will pump in money. Adara broadly you understand. Read again. How many of you think B? B for basket. D. C. A. Answer is B. Simple, complicate madbadi. Adralli agriculture sector, yes, purposely negated that. Manufacturing sector, agriculture sector, loans. Okay. So obviously answer is B. Straightforward ide. Ashtond yochne mada, so much you need not think. Fiscal stimulus definition, if you knew, this would have been another straightforward question. Okay. It is an extreme affirmative action by the government to pursue its policy of financial inclusion. First, what is financial inclusion? Everybody, people should open bank accounts, people should start taking loans in the society. Ashte. Antyodaya and Sarvodaya in banking sector. Okay, basically banking, financial inclusion, they want more people to develop the habit of saving. Okay, so that is financial inclusion. Correct? Yes, I have studied economy 5 years back. Read all 4 options. First, what is deficit financing? ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಾರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್. Now you read. You will be stuck in a debt loop if you borrow for balance of payment. Answer is option A. For economic development only, deficit financing happens. Balance of payment will go somewhere else to get money. ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಾ? Okay, if you have not read this topic, Google about this topic, read 4 to 5 lines about this topic, as simple as that. Madilva? Okay. Again, this was kind of a bouncer question, but if you had read any textbook, you would have got it easily right. Today it is easy. What is the answer? It is organ of Niti Aayog? No. So, it is headed by Union Finance Minister? Yes. And it monitors macro-prudential supervision of the economy. Broad agide, not specific. Also, which one more financial body is in the news? Recently, one body has been created by the government. Payment Regulatory Board. So, if you don't read the newspaper, you will not find all this. Payment Regulatory Board. I will tell you some information about this. The first meeting happened recently, that is why it was in the news. Created under Section 3 of Payment and Settlement Act. Main objective is regulatory and supervisory power over payment and settlement system in India, to monitor all our payment and settlement system. So, so who is the chairperson of this? Sanjay. Her name Nikhil Sanjay sir. RBI governor is the see, that why I am telling all this is, in the last 2-3 sessions you are observing who is the chairman, regularly they ask. So please observe the chairman. And set up through which act? Payments and Settlement Act. Main objective is grants, regulate and revoke authorization for payment system, UPI, RTGS, wallets nella monitor madade their objective. Okay, done. Sanjay yara friend tara helta idare ivaru. Sir, my friend Sanjay sir. This is done. Again, once in a while such questions come, one liner question. Base erosion and profit shifting is sometimes in the news. Read all 4 options. Even if you know, if they ask what is your name, see all 4 options and then mark what is your name. Sure. Correct. It is curbing of the tax evasion by multinational companies. Base erosion and profit sorry, shifting. Again, debt is a very important topic in our exam. So please keep an eye on this. Internal debt, external debt. How much is the internal debt? Who has the maximum number of internal debt and external debt? Very, very important topic from exam perspective. Most of India's external debt is owed by government entities. Just Google and tell me. Google and tell me so that you know the numbers also. Government alve alla, private. Check. What is the numbers? What percentage? Got the fact? Yeah, goes. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ ಸಿಕ್ತಾ 19% is external debt. Okay. What about government and non-government debt? I am asking you how much is government external debt and how much is non-government external debt. ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. I'll only tell. ಸಿಕ್ತಾ is 77% is non-government debt. Good. See the second option. All of India's external debt is denominated in US dollars. What about other countries, other organizations, other currencies? Answer is option D, neither 1 and 2. This we'll discuss later, don't worry. In financial market we'll discuss. ಏನಾಯ್ತು Guarantee, no? I don't know. Chirag. One only, na? One only. Okay? Because debt financing is loans. Revenue, na? Capital. Revenue expenditure. And equity is guarantee, na? Correct. Okay, so answer is new technology, is it capital? Guarantee, no? This is correct. Yes. So two topics covered. Which are the two topics? Just let us try to summarize what we studied. Inflation we summarized. This topic is fiscal policy. In fiscal policy again we studied about taxation. In taxation what did we observe? The taxes, type of taxes, who imposes, who collects, who appropriates, how is it appropriated, that was one part. And then the second topic we discussed was deficits, correct? Types of deficits, match the following, trends of deficits also we discussed. Along with this, FRBM Act also we discussed is an important part of this concept. Capital receipts, revenue receipts. Artha aita? So now we will have a small shift to current affairs and then we'll come back to external sector. Okay? So today in current affairs, we are going to discuss 4 topics. One is Iran, Syria, then Egypt, Ethiopia, and Cambodia and Thailand. Okay. I hope all of you know why these topics are in the news. Again, why is Iran in the news? You want a break? 5 minutes? We'll be discussing. Oh, now take a break. Why is Iran in the news? Yes, Donald Trump has made a promise that I am going to bomb the nuclear facilities of Iran. So nuclear facilities of Iran is important, and also the neighboring countries of Iran also becomes very, very important. Okay. Again, which places, where are they present? Nobody will give you the map and ask, show them where they are. But I should be knowing these are the places that are present in Iran. Syria, why is Syria in the news? Yes, recently USA carried out bombings on the terrorist sites in Syria. What was the name of that operation? Morning I told. Good. Operation Hawk Eye Storm. Operation Hawk Eye Storm. This was a recent operation launched by USA on Syria. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದು ರೈಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದು? ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ರಫ್ ರೈಡರ್ಸ್. What is this operation? ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು? USA operation on Houthi rebels is known as Operation Rough Rider. Houthi Yemen, yes, good. Then Operation Aspirants. I think we discussed in the last class. Illa. What is Operation Aspirants? Yes, it is a mission launched by European Union near the Red Sea to protect the sea lanes of communication from Houthi rebels of Yemen. Houthi rebels of Yemen. Next, Operation USA ಯಾವುದು? One more operation of USA in Yemen. Good. Operation Prosperity Guardian. Operation Prosperity Guardian, again launched by USA near Red Sea to protect from Yemen Houthi rebels. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, one liner, all these are one liner, nothing else, they will not ask you anything else. Any other operations? Venezuela we discussed. Southern Spear. Southern Spear is an operation undertaken by USA to tackle the drug smuggling being done by Venezuela. Drug smuggling. Operation Absolute Resolve. What is Operation Absolute Resolve? To kidnap Maduro. So this was the operation launched. Okay, again, let us not take risk. UPSC is becoming another very factual exam. Since all of them are in the news, it's our responsibility to know this. USA by Donald Trump. I hope his government ends very soon. Artha aita? These are the operations that we have to be knowing. Please see the mapping of Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. Extremely important from our exam perspective. Then why else is Syria in the news? Recently, there was a civil war that ended in Russia. And the former president Bashar al-Assad was overthrown and a new person has taken over power. Who is that new person? Al-Jawlani. What is his old name or new name? Al-Jawlani was his old name. So he was a designated terrorist by United States of America. US government had announced 10 million bounty for his head. 10 million bounty. And the same person went and had a meeting with Donald Trump in White House last year. He has changed his name also. I don't know his new name. Asad Odor. Sorry. Anyways, some Al Nara or Al Sara, something is there. Artha aita? Also, you should be knowing the surrounding countries of Syria, the places in news of Syria, because Russia had an air base and a naval base in Syria that has been taken over now. This was the main objective of Donald Trump in Syria, to hurt Russia. Okay, Latakia, Tartus will discuss where are the ports. Very, very important from exam perspective. And again, we'll be knowing the neighboring countries of Syria also. Can anybody tell the neighboring countries of Syria? Start from one side. Let us start from Israel. Go north from Israel. Lebanon has a boundary. Go north. Turkey. Then Jordan. Iraq and then Jordan. Does Iran have a border with Syria? No. Okay. Again, we'll see it on the map also. Don't worry about it. Artha, why Syria is in the news? And also today, the country of Syria is divided and fractured, and multiple factions of people or groups are controlling different places of Syria. For example, Kurdish people are controlling some territories, US-backed rebel forces are controlling some territories, and our Al-Jawlani, he is also controlling the majority of Syria today. Next, why is Egypt and Ethiopia in the news? Very good. Jald Dam. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is being constructed across river Nile. Blue Nile is a territory, tributary of Nile. So that is why very big controversy. I think Donald Trump said, I also ended this war. Understood? See, now that is why it becomes important from our exam perspective. Because now the other countries are angry with Ethiopia constructing a dam across that river, because it will reduce the flow into their countries. So that is why we should be knowing who are the countries that are present in the region. Okay. And for exam perspective, river Nile is like a 5-star topic for our exam this year, because again it falls under 2 categories of UPSC, or 3 categories. One is conflict, one more is Africa, one more is physical features and rivers. All these 3 are individually favorite area of UPSC. River Nile comes under all these categories. Artha aita? Congo has been asked last year, Congo. So river Nile can be asked the coming year. So I should know, where does river Nile originate? Where does river Nile end? Where does river Nile end? It ends in Mediterranean Sea. Okay, it is a very unique river which flows northwards. So let us see origin and where does it join? What is the length of this river? And obviously Cambodia and Thailand, why is it in the news? They have a border dispute, border friction that is happening. Names are very complicated when it comes to Cambodia and Thailand. Okay, so Preah Vihear temple, but I will show you other names also, which you will feel like not reading. Okay, Preah Vihear temple important, 9th to 11th century, Surya Varman constructed. Shiva temple. Very good. Dankrek mountains are present there. You know, triangle. Very good. Emerald triangle anta ide. 3 countries yadu, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand. A triangle junction ideyala, adike emerald triangle antanu kariತೀವಿ. River Mekong also flows through it. Artha ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? So let us start. Yes, again let us identify the important places that are in the news. Tabriz, fine. Bonab, fine. Come to Fordo. Very, very important. Fordo. Parchin. Fordo. Parchin. Bonab. Natanz. Natanz. Isfahan. Isfahan. Bushehr. Bushehr. Okay. Gachin. 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 Where is Kachin? This is Gachin. Gachin. Where is Kachin? Kachin. Search where is Kachin. Good. Myanmar. Okay. Gachin elide Iran alide. Again, you see this place 5 times, 6th time you will automatically remember. Okay. And if an attack happens from USA and Israel, these are the target places of USA and Israel. Very soon, probably this weekend, surprise attack. But it is no longer a surprise attack. They have told I am going to hit. Same places are there. Iraq. I will tell you, Iraq has 2 names. I'll tell you the name. Isfahan, Bushehr, Natanz, Fordo, Parchin. Remember our Ramsar? Why is Ramsar? Wetlands. UPSC will never ask that. Done? Iran? Any doubts? Which region is this? Guarantee? This is Strait of Hormuz. Good. What is this sea? Caspian Sea. Bordering countries of Caspian Sea has a formula. What is the formula? Tariq. T for Tajikistan, Turkmenistan or Turkey? Turkmenistan. Amale, A for Azerbaijan or Armenia? Azerbaijan. R for Russia, I for Iran, K for Kazakhstan. Okay. Why? Because again we have not still gone for geography mapping. I will show you countless examples of UPSC asking a sea and the neighboring countries. Okay. When we discuss geography, we will discuss all the mnemonics also along with that. Yes, let us go to Syria. Again we have Israel, Lebanon, Turkey, Iraq, no Saudi Arabia, no Iran. No Saudi Arabia, no Iran. Correct? And we have Jordan in the southern border. What is this region known as? Golan Heights. Golan Heights. It was in the news because when Syrian conflict was happening, Israel went and occupied the remaining parts of Golan Heights also. Okay. Golan Heights. Golan Heights. Again between Israel and Syria. Does Syria have a border to Mediterranean Sea? Yes or no? Yes, Syria has a border to Mediterranean Sea. What about Jordan? What about Lebanon? What about Gaza Strip? Gaza Strip? Somewhere here. This is our Gaza Strip right here. Yes. Let us start with the places. Tartus. Again, 5-star important topic. Tartus. Latakia. Idlib. Remember Idli. Okay. Syrians love Idli. Then Aleppo. Hama. Homs. Raqqa. Very, very important. Raqqa. R-A-Q-Q-A-H. Okay. Again, some places we have missed. Write down Dera. Rest are all the same places. Repeat the names of Syria. Tartus, Latakia. This is where Russia had its air base and naval base. Tartus and Latakia. Okay. And then Idlib, Hama, Homs, Raqqa, Aleppo. These are very, very important places of which country? Syria. Where is Damascus? Capital of Syria. Capital of Syria. Allella bombings ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Again, see, are you observing different colors here? Different color indicates different people occupying different territories in Syria. Again, illi the Kurdish forces have occupied. Okay, and then all this is now under the control of the current Syrian government. Do you know the name of the terrorist group to which he belonged to? Alawite is the community to which this person belongs. Remember, Shia is a country where majority are Sunni Muslims, but the old leader, our what is his name, Bashar al-Assad, was a Shia Alawite. So that is why Alawites. So here we have which community? Kurdish people. Okay. So what was the question? You asked something else. What is the terrorist group name? ISIS ಇಂದ ಬಿಟ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ, ಹೊಸದ ಅವನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ. HTS. Good. ಅದು HTS full form. Al-Nusra is also an important terrorist group that was present there. Al-Nusra. Nusra or Nusra only. Okay. Done? Yes. Also, please write down one more. Sorry. Palmyra. Very important. Palmyra. Yes. Archaeologically very important site. Palmyra. Artha aita? Ashte. Apart from this, nothing else will be asked from Syria. Either the places in use or the neighboring countries. And these are the places that are in the news, for sure, 100%. This is the name of the terrorist group, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. No need to by heart. Worst case they ask, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. So this was the group to this the president of Syria belonged to. Okay, HTS. Observe how earlier this HTS, the terrorist group, was present only in this territory, and gradually they expanded to the entire Syrian country. Okay, first only a small place near Idlib, then expanded to Aleppo, Hama, Homs, Latakia, etc. Damascus. Artha aita? Done. Any doubts? Okay, let us continue. So next topic is the Nile River dispute, Ethiopia, Egypt and Sudan. So just let us see the map of this region before we start. Yes, this is our river Nile. This is White Nile, this is Blue Nile. Together they join at a place known as Khartoum in Sudan, and it becomes river Nile. Okay. White Nile, Blue Nile, Nile. What is the length of this river? Any idea? Good, 6,000 odd kilometers. White Nile originates from Lake Victoria, another favorite area of UPSC. Okay, I'll just confirm once. Yes, White Nile originates from Lake Victoria in the Ugandan region. How many countries have a border with Lake Victoria? 3 countries. No, all the 3 countries, no Lake Victoria. Okay, from Uganda it goes to South Sudan, Sudan, Egypt, and then finally reaches Mediterranean Sea. And again our, which river? Blue Nile starts from Ethiopia, goes to Sudan, goes to Egypt and joins Mediterranean Sea. Artha aagta idea? So that is the main dispute here is here which is the upper riparian state and lower riparian state here. Uganda, Sudan, these are the upper riparian state and lower riparian state is Sudan and Egypt. Means the upper riparian state is the state where the river originates and flows initially. Lower riparian is the place where it ends. For example, our river Kaveri, which is the upper riparian state. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu is the lower riparian state. What are the benefits of an upper riparian state like Karnataka? I can control the flow of water, I can construct dam for electricity, irrigation, etc. But our lower riparian state will be in trouble because of this. Because the water flow is going to reduce. Do you agree? Same dispute. River Kaveri will become River Nile, Karnataka will become Ethiopia, Sudan and Egypt will become Tamil Nadu. Got an idea? That is all is the dispute here. Again, some facts we will see, but please read about River Nile. Where does it originate? Where does it end? Artha aita? So again, from Uganda it starts here, from Lake Victoria, goes to Sudan, South Sudan, Egypt, and finally reaches Mediterranean Sea. Lake Tana becomes very important. Lake Victoria also is very important. How many countries are there in the river basin of Egypt? River Nile. How many countries form the basin of River Nile? 11 countries. Basin andre tributaries, sub-tributaries ella sestre 11. Flows through, these are the countries. Okay? Again, this is for our knowledge and understanding, because rivers anta noಡಿದಾಗ international rivers UPSC does not go too much in depth. Does it cross the equator by any chance? I don't know. Check once. Does River Nile cross the equator? True or false? Notebook ಹೇಳಿ. See, if I was the geography faculty, I would have told you, it is my observation, I want you to think on these lines. True, no? Does it cut to 23.5 north also? No, see there, I don't want to risk anything. I want you to prepare like this. Yes? So again, a very unique thing, River Nile cuts across equator and cuts across 23.5 degree Tropic of Cancer. Correct? ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಖಿತಾ ಈ ತರ ದಾರಿ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಬಾರ್ದು. Yes or no? Wait, I will only open and see. Yeah? Guarantee na? Does River Nile cross equator and Tropic of Cancer? Let us see where does it pass. ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ವಾ? ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ರಾಪಿಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಟರ್ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬ್ಲೂ ನೈಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಗುಡ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲೇಕ್ ವಿಕ್ಟೋರಿಯಾ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆನೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಟಾಪ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಟರ್. ಇಟ್ ಒರಿಜಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್? ವಿಕ್ಟೋರಿಯಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಬ್ಲೂ ಲೈನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈಕ್ವೇಟರ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರ? ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಜೋರಾಗಿ. ಯಾವುದು? ಈಕ್ವೇಟರ್. ಆಯ್ತು, ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿ ದ ಹೋಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಹೋಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಹೂ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್? Go home, take your time, check and tell me. Anusha ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Next class guarantee. Others also. Don't go to Egypt to see it. Invest 5 minutes. You see the map properly, you will get an idea about it. Nile River, Africa's longest, more than 6,650 kilometers, flows northward towards the Mediterranean Sea. 11 countries across East and North Africa have the basin coverage of which river? River Nile. White Nile originates from Lake Victoria in Uganda, longest head stream of the system, more consistent, fine. Blue Nile originates from Lake Tana in Ethiopia, supplies 85% of River Nile's water or volume. This is why Egypt and Sudan are little angry. Understood? Because majority of our River Nile is going from White Nile or Blue Nile? Blue Nile or White Nile? Blue Nile. So, and that GERD dam is coming across this Blue Nile. Where does Blue and White Nile meet? At Khartoum. Where is Khartoum? Sudan. Okay, these are the 11 countries. You can see it later. Okay, don't go too much into tributaries also. Ethiopia's position and grievances. Provides 85% of Nile water but received no allocation. So, Ethiopia feels that it is the sovereign owner of River Nile. Fair enough? Just like how in Karnataka we say that Kaveri is ours. They will also say it is theirs. And main purpose of this GERD dam is very important for irrigation and agriculture also, and hydroelectricity. Okay. So this Gulf dam is going to transform the lives of the people of Ethiopia and some neighboring countries also. That is the reason why they are going for this Gulf dam. But however, Egypt depends on River Nile for its fresh water needs. So Egypt is also, if you observe, is it close to the equator? Yes. So again it needs River Nile for its survival. And obviously Egypt is going to be in trouble if this dam actually comes into force. Even Sudan also has an issue. Does Nile pass through Sudan? Yes. Ethiopia in the direct over there, Sudan. Okay. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Africa's largest hydroelectric project and the center of controversy. Location, Blue Nile near Ethiopian and Sudan border, also known as Benishangul Gumuz region. It's okay if you don't know about it. So again, this is how big the dam is. One of the costliest dams also that is constructed in Africa. Again, Ethiopia will need this for economic development, energy, water sovereignty, etc. Done. So this must be enough. Any doubts? Idea banta, why is it in the news? What are the places and how you should read? So whenever you are reading geography, especially mapping, make sure that you prioritize this area. Okay. So let us go to the next topic. Which is our next topic? Again some basic 6,650, 11 basin, blue line 85%, white line 15%, converge at Khartoum. And Egypt is 97% dependent on River Nile. Egypt is 97% dependent on River Nile. Okay. Yes, our next issue is Cambodia-Thailand dispute. Sorry, Cambodia and Thailand dispute. And the controversy is around this temple known as Preah Vihear temple. Anything else you know about this? Very good. Colonial demarcation. Who was ruling Cambodia earlier? French were ruling. So again, French and Siam, and Thailand had an agreement at that point of time. Later became a controversy. They went to International Court of Justice. In International Court of Justice, they declared that the Preah Vihear temple will belong to Cambodia. But later, this Preah Vihear temple became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and again Thailand was jealous. So this temple should belong to me. And the areas around this temple, some of the areas actually belong to Thailand. That is the controversy here. Okay, the some areas around Preah Vihear temple belongs to Thailand. But where is Preah Vihear temple? Cambodia. So this became a small dispute where the firing happened between both the forces. Landmines, Cambodian military used to use landmines, and many soldiers were killed because of this landmines also. Adike controversy agide. Okay. For us, from exam perspective, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand. What is this triangle known as? Emerald Triangle. And please see our Angkor Wat is very far away. Do you agree? What is this Tonle Sap? Why is it important? Very good. Last year PYQ. Arthak is where UPSC is picking topics. Controversial countries, geopolitical conflict, that is where they are going to pick topics. But they know you will be ready with the border dispute. They will ask something else. That something else was Tonle Sap. What is the question? Does equator pass through Tonle Sap? Antane question ididu. Correct? Tanganyika was also there. Again, very important place. Odar, Mianchi, Sisaket, Surin. Again, this is Thailand and this is Cambodia. Especially Odar, Mianchi and Preah Vihear. These are the provinces in Cambodia which are under controversy now. Repeat the names. Odar, Mianchi and Preah Vihear. These are controversial areas. Yes. What is this mountain? Dangrek Mountains. So they were also in the news. So please have an idea about Dangrek Mountains and where is it present. Okay. Dangrek. D-A-N-G-R-E-K. D-A-N-G. Here Cambodia and sorry Thailand. Where is Thailand? Here. Okay. Because again this Preah Vihear temple some people say is located on the Dangrek Mountains. I'll get a proper map, I did not find it. The Cambodia-Thailand dispute, Preah Vihear temple in the Dangrek Mountains. Again 11th century construction, yeah temple? The Preah Vihear temple built during the Khmer's empire's golden age under multiple rulers, dedicated to Lord Shiva, representing Mount Meru, the cosmic mountain of Hindu cosmology. Which mountain? Mount Meru. Anybody knows anything about this? Anybody good in all Indian mythology? Guarantee na? None. No myths and disinformation. Indra Sabor? Okay. Perched atop a 547-meter cliff in Dangrek Mountains, commanding views over the Cambodia's plains. So let us come to the French rule. Yes. In 1863, again France or Cambodia became the protectorate of France. So just remember that France was controlling Cambodia. Year 1863, it's okay. But who was ruling them? France. Just like how British were ruling India, France were ruling Cambodia. And they wanted to resist the Siamese territorial expansion. Siamese and yaru? Thailand. So to protect from Thailand expanding into Cambodia, Cambodia had ties with France. In 1904 to 1907, Franco-Siamese treaties defined the borders of Thailand and Cambodia today. Please repeat which treaties? 1904 to 1907, Franco-Siamese treaties, they define the borders even today. 5 minutes, we'll conclude. The watershed principle applied to Dangrek Mountains. A Dangrek Mountains pass agatala, adine boundary anta they are decided. In 1907, French maps place Preah Vihear in Cambodia. Again, all the colonial rulers are only the reason for the today's border dispute. Usually it is UK and USA, but France also here. Post-independence in 1953, Cambodia gains independence from France. And as soon as it becomes independent, Thailand goes and occupies this temple of Preah Vihear. Remember how Pakistan came and occupied our POK as soon as British left. Same way, Thailand went and occupied this region of Preah Vihear. And that is when Cambodia went to International Court of Justice and filed a case. And International Court of Justice ruled in favor of Cambodia. Artha aita? When did the conflict again increase? When again this Preah Vihear temple was declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In 2008, UNESCO declares Preah Vihear temple as a World Heritage Site, which escalated the conflict between both the sides. Understood? If you know this much, more than enough. Got a broad idea about Cambodia, Thailand, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Iran and Syria. Okay, so these are the most important topics that are in the news, and we have covered. And outside this, very unlikely that anything is going to be asked. Please revise the same topics again. So next week we will continue with external sector, financial markets, and then we will discuss some Indian economy topics, Indian infrastructure, Indian economy, in the some topics are asked. So, and again I will pick up another 3 to 4 important current affairs topics and discuss. Any current affairs topics you want me to discuss? Venezuela, okay, we will discuss Venezuela, it is easy for me only. Okay, Venezuela and Somaliland, let us discuss in the next class. ED, you want to discuss ED also, done. Understood? So I hope you are actually learning from this session. Okay, and please make the most of this. If you implement this, I am going to give you in assurance that you are going to clear the exam. Easily I could have made this a paid course because I am also putting lot of efforts, but I want access to majority of the people, especially analyzing PYQs. Artha aita? And we will not stop, we will continue. After economy, we will go to geography, science and tech, environment, IR will be covered. Again, as exam nears, again we will try to have 2 sessions in a single class. Okay. Last alignment, tactics, tricks, all this we will discuss in the fag end. Now I don't want to teach all this because you will be dependent only on that. Now I want you to build your base of your exam through this PYQs. Okay. See you next week. We will continue with Indian economy. Try to complete Indian economy and then go to geography. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can text me on Telegram. So this is my Telegram ID. And if you want me to discuss any topics, you can let me know. Alright, see you next week. PDF will be uploaded below the video, or the live video is there, no? Below that the PDF will be uploaded. In case you need it, you text me on Telegram.